We kind of started on our heels in the beginning of the season. So I think our girls' confidence was a little low. And I think recently, with these big wins, we've been playing with each other, for each other. And these girls have they have confidence in themselves as well.
From practice to practice, but even competition to competition. And from playing, we've seen some games we've come up and only played the first 20 minutes well. Other games we've only played the last 20 minutes well, and I think recently we're seeing a whole 60-minute game come into play. And for us, that is the improvements that we were expecting, but the improvements that we need to see continuously through season. So no, we didn't start with that full 60 minutes, but after each practice and after each game, we've noticed that, yes, we are building in the right direction of where we need to
be. Champions aren't born, they're built. For the Cornell Big Red and the Florida Gators, expectations have never been higher, with only one goal in mind.
Let's go! Game time! It's in the bag, you better believe it. We all play for one reason, show how dominating this season. It's time. Take that dub with us and we leaving. You not with us to the streets and Braveheart turn it up for the season.
We giving our all, get up when we fall. We stand for each other and answer the call. Whether big or small, no matter the reason we can't make a ball. No matter the side, we run through the wall. Calm demeanor like John Sr. Through the long season, got them all sleeping. By the fourth quarter, you can hear them hard breathing. They be doing long dreaming, but this field here is our region. No odds and evens, just our reasons to send y'all back into the off season.
It's passion, it's the process, it's the season, 2019. As the season marches into April, the stakes and intensity are raised with every contest. For the Big Red, this is clearly on display with the arrival of a date that's been circled on the calendar since before the season began. Cornell's annual showdown with upstate rival Syracuse.
Nothing like a midweek rivalry game between two top 10 teams.
Less than a year ago in the Carrier Dome, the Big Red ended Syracuse season with a first-round NCAA tournament victory, cementing their resurgence onto the national scene.
Be prepared, be composed, ready to attack it. Whatever it is, expect everything, expect their very best, expect them to come up with a few knockout punches right away. We just got to make sure we stay composed, focus through it, and look for the next opportunity to attack, okay?
Cornell ended Syracuse's season, so obviously revenge on the mind for the Orange, and they're going to get the win. It all starts with shutting down Jeff Teat. He's a monster on offense for Cornell.
Twisting shot by Rivas as he sticks it near side.
And as play began, it was apparent that revenge was clearly on the mind of the Orange.
Rivas behind Dudley, and scoring again. He faked high and just dropped it in low.
3 straight first quarter goals gave Syracuse the lead. Yet the Big Red would not easily be intimidated.
Pass to the right now, Teat slings it left. Fletcher open shot and stings the corner. Teat set him up beautifully. It's 3-1.
Some of the Big Red's toughness can be attributed to junior defensive midfielder Griffin Busick, who credits his football background for teaching him a physical style of play.
So I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, so a little bit different there. I'm the only Midwestern guy on the team. In Ohio, football is king, so I got to play in front of tens of thousands of people just for high school football, so that was an awesome experience. I think I love lacrosse so much because it was similar to football in the sense that you can be physical, especially for my case in playing short stick defensive midfielder. You got to be able to flip your hips quickly, kind of read the play, break on balls, just try to make a play wherever you can.
For Griffin, his emergence has also provided him the unique experience to share the season with his brother, Cornell assistant coach and former 3-time All-American, Connor Busick.
We grew up, we were 5 years apart, so we always kind of missed each other. I was in high school, he was still in middle school. I got to college, he had just started high school, and so by the time he got here, I'd graduate, obviously, but to have him on the roster and, be in the same town as him for the first time in a while was cool.
Who's my roll on?
It's been an awesome experience having him by my side. On the field, he's a coach, but off the field, he's my big brother. He's a sounding board for me. He's given me a ton of advice, on and off the field.
He's worked his tail off to, earn everything that he's gotten. Didn't see a lot of minutes his first 2 years here, but, has embraced his role every step of the way. So seeing him get on the field and have a lot of success this year, brings a smile to my face. It's cool to start every game and be able to give him a hug and tell him I love him, and then we go out and compete together, and then win or lose, we do the same thing after the game. It's pretty special.
Griffin embodies a Cornell culture of selfless dedication to the team.
The culture of this team is putting everything you can into something without expecting anything in return. You know, we don't do anything for ourselves. We do it for the guy to our right and to our left. That's pretty much what it's about. And you know, if you buy into that and you really believe that the guy next to you is doing everything to make sure that you're successful and you're doing everything to make sure he's successful, you know, it's going to be hard to beat a team like that.
He's a good example of the type of guys that you know, can do well here if you just, you know, commit to the program, commit to the culture and the work ethic. You know, he found a role, he found a home.
In the second, the Big Red set about cutting into the Syracuse lead.
And a slick ground ball by Jeff Teat. Flips now left. Peterson crease. Piantelli scores!
But despite a timely goal from Jeff Teat and a pair from Clark Peterson, the Big Red ended the first half trailing by 4.
They're playing full tilt, man. They're selling out just like us. They're playing as good a defense as they've ever played. They are dodging with a purpose, and they're shooting every chance they can, all right? You have to expect that they're going to come after us.
Finds Fletcher. Outside rip. And blasts home a 15-yarder.
Sharp shooting continued to build the Oranges' lead.
Curry through. Diving and scoring.
And in the end, it simply wasn't Cornell's day. But the Big Red know that the scoreboard isn't the ultimate judge of this team.
It's a tough one to swallow because it's one that we really wanted badly, and you know, maybe we needed it in a lot of ways. We haven't quite gotten to who we are yet. It's maybe peeking its head through, and we're not there. And we got to find a way to replicate practices more like that, because we're not building to play like this on game day. Everybody's just hungrier for us. I think we should have expected that, but we're not prepared for it. We've got to accept that those challenges are going to come in every facet of the game. We've got to match any intensity with everything that we have. If we bring more, it goes in our favor.
Down in Florida, the Gators are continuing their quest towards a conference championship, also aided by a sibling connection. Madison Cattell and Kenzie Cattell grew up in the state of New York, where the game of lacrosse and family has always been intertwined.
Where we were born, we were from upstate New York, so that's like a very big hotbed for lacrosse. When I was in elementary school, everyone tries to be goalie, like everyone is forced to be put in the goal, and eventually my coach was like, you're the only one that's not running out of the cage when they shoot the ball, so you're gonna start playing goalie. And I was like, okay, I know my role, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
The pair, standing at 4'7" and 4'10" respectively, found that in lacrosse, they could use their height to their advantage, contrary to what others may think.
Yeah, I don't think height plays a real big factor in this sport, which is amazing. Basketball, it does play a huge factor with rebounds and shots and like shooting over people. But in lacrosse, Madison uses it really well to her advantage. She basically weaves through people, and if that doesn't work, she'll get an 8-meter. So it's just, it is hard being short, but it's also very advantageous.
Their determination is a testament to their attitudes and from knowing they have each other by their side.
I feel like since we're twins, we can tell if one of us is having a bad day. And if I have a bad practice or she has a bad practice, we know we have someone to lean on. Yeah, we have really close friends and stuff, but we're family, so it's a lot different.
With preparations complete, Florida headed across the state to Jacksonville for their final non-conference matchup.
All right, so let's be really aware of where people are, how we can get them the ball, all right? Their ride, all right, we know it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be compact, we've gotta be willing to go, all right? Get in a position to help, and we're good to go.
And in the early going, Florida raced to a lead, paced by Shannon Cavanaugh, who scored twice and assisted on a third. But Lindsey Ronbeck soon joined the party, changing the game for the Gators.
Where are the free players? Really low. So can you please cut up to help us? Because we can't get you the ball from here all the way to there.
And as the first half ended, Florida held a 15-3 lead, with Ronbeck tallying 7 goals, the most in a single half in program history. But with a comfortable lead, the intensity leveled off, allowing Jacksonville some success. head coach Mandy O'Leary, the progression of her team is more important than the scoreboard.
There should be no smiles out here. There should be nothing to laugh about. We have gone 19 minutes without scoring a goal. We have got the ball over our 50-yard line once in transition. So if you think that's acceptable, then all fun and games. But if you think that this is acceptable for a Florida women's lacrosse team, you are sadly mistaken. Because you're not engaged. And if there's one thing that we need to be, it's engaged. And the fouls and the stupid stuff, it's gotta stop. So I'm done, so we're gonna flip it out. All right, let's go, let's focus, and let's get this game back in our control.
The game ended with a 19-13 Florida victory, yet the Gators have more work ahead to achieve their potential. Back in Ithaca, the Big Red know there is only one prescription to overcoming setbacks: hard work.
It's my turn. Sit back and learn. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. Sit back and learn. Stay with that heat all day, cause I'm fired up. I'm hot. No bricks, I'll switch, cause I'm fired up. Switch. Stack it up, racking up chips, cause I'm fired up. Yes, I am a problem.
And while in the weight room this effort is expected, back on the field it is a stellar play of freshman goalie Chase Erlin that has been one of the best surprises of the season.
X, finish those approaches! Whoa, whoa! DQ, roll! Roll! Nice shot, DQ. Good job.
Chase's demeanor does not resemble that of a freshman, and is perhaps one of the reasons he has found success.
Alrighty, so here's the crib, and it's where me and Teddy bats and do a lot of homework and a lot of studying. And so right here we got just some pictures of Max Seabold, graduated in 2009. I'm probably one of his biggest fans, and obviously had a great career here. Just a picture with my brother. Definitely have a special relationship with him, and he plays at Yale now. He just transferred. Fortunately, we lost him early in the season, but it was kind of cool playing against your brother, and definitely a special moment for our family. And you know, probably might see him again, and hopefully the Big Red can come up on top this time. So.
Since taking over between the pipes against Penn State in the fourth game, Chase has emerged as a leader despite his youth, having been named Ivy League Freshman of the Week 3 times this season.
It's been pretty fun. Obviously, you know, you like to compete out there and try to win some games for your team, try to steal some saves, and give your team the best chance. And defensively wise, I think we've been doing a great job and definitely improving every day. So, you know, hopefully we can keep it going down the stretch and make a late playoff push for sure.
While Cornell's offense has been among the highest scoring units in the country, it is arguably amongst the most unselfish.
We need to be unselfish. We need to share the ball, and if we can identify the best shot for the team, we remove a little bit of the ownership of each individual player having to do something for themselves.
The accolades of Clark Peterson and Jeff Teat are well known, but it's the emergence of sophomore John Piatelli that has made them a complete unit.
Johnny's he's a silent assassin. He goes out there and he competes and does everything he does without really getting too high or too low. It's pretty impressive. He is the single piece of our offense that has turned us from good to great, and I think he's the guy that kind of, he's our measuring mark.
Growing up in a lacrosse family, he learned quickly that one needs to transform his attitude when stepping onto the field.
I think that you got to play angry, you got to play a little bit with an edge, almost like an underdog mentality. Off the field, I'm very reserved and quiet, but I think on the field, you got to have a different personality. You got to be hungry and attack your opponents.
After establishing himself as one of Massachusetts' top young players in public high school, John was faced with a difficult decision in regards to his future in the game.
So when I transferred from King Philip to St. Sebastian's, that was a step up in the lacrosse, and then going from high school to college is an even bigger step up. I think that school just elevated me as a person, as a player, and it just took me to new heights that I don't think would have been possible at the public school, so I think it was a great decision for me, it was a great move for me.
Teat with a little one-hand flip pass to Piattone!
Playing alongside two of Cornell's elite attackmen has made John a more complete player.
Playing with Clark and Jeff has, helped him a lot of ways grow as a player, but he's taken a lot on his shoulders after last season. He's taken a good step forward this year.
Yet, despite the skill and unselfishness of the Big Red, it is their confidence which Piatelli feels will determine how far they go.
So I think it's just a matter of believing, and if we have the belief, we'll get there.
Down in Florida, the Gators are back to work. For assistant coaches Taryn Vanthoff and Nadine Hadnagi, it is a chance to fine-tune the details and push for improvement.
Good Mason, good help!
The duo bring a sense of both experience and enthusiasm, having both been accomplished players. Nadine was a 3-time national champion at Maryland, while Taryn was a 3-time All-American at Loyola. But like many who devote their lives to the game, their friendship doesn't end when the whistle blows.
We have a really great relationship off the field.
I think it helps us because we are on the same page. Like, we respect each other, we're friends. If she says something on the field and I'm like, I don't know about that one. She doesn't get she doesn't get mad about it. She just says, all right, we'll try something different. So I think that helps us. We kind of feed off each other, I think, pretty well.
And despite the ups and downs of the season, they are committed to the Gators' long-term success and are optimistic that the team is trending up.
One person lights a fire and the rest just follow.
Yeah, I think that confidence motivates them. We see day in and out people coming to do extra work, and I think the confidence has increased, but also now they're willing to do the extra.
A few days later, the 17th ranked Gators welcomed East Carolina to the Diz, and the home team wasted little time asserting themselves.
Waits patiently and shoots it past White for the goal, and Florida re-extends their lead to 2. Here's Lindsey Ronback. You bet into the back of the net, and Florida gets a much-needed goal from the senior.
When the dust settled, the Gators had built an 8-1 lead. And while East Carolina fought back, there would be no letting up this time.
Harris tries a bounce shot, and it pays off.
It was a reassuring result to a team that has battled through many challenges.
Florida moves to 3-0 in conference play. Our final score, the Gators 20 and East Carolina 10.
Florida's comfortable victory was their 6th in a row, continuing their conference domination and preparing them for the upcoming postseason.
Cornell coming off of a loss to Syracuse. I mean, this was a team that beat Syracuse twice last year. They're on the ropes a little bit. I'm questioning their NCAA tournament resume right now. But if they can get a win over Notre Dame, certainly they're in play, and that'll help them build momentum into the last part of the Ivy League season and maybe into the Ivy League tournament, and we'll see what they can do.
I think it's their offense, and I think it is kind of the reason they're not quite as good of a team as they were last year. We're talking about whether or not they can make the NCAA tournament, as opposed to whether or not they can maybe make a Final Four run. Is just the offense. The teams have found just enough ways to slow down Jeff Teat to kind of bring the offense from great to just very, very good. I think they need to see a little bit more about the face-off game and the defense in order to compensate for the offense maybe taking just a hair step back from where they were.
I would agree with that. I think that Chase Erlin, the goalie, as a freshman, has been the thing that's given the defense momentum and made them a little bit better and gives me hope that maybe their best lacrosse is still in front of them.
Absolutely. I mean, when you play defense with a goalie that you're confident can make saves, it's a complete game changer in the field for the players in front of them, that you don't have to stop them from taking shots. You just have to stop them from taking good shots, because if it's a bad shot, your goalie's going to make the save.
I do think Cornell's season is completely in front of them. Certainly we've seen teams put together great runs in the Ivy League tournament. They did it last year, and then it's the type of thing that can totally change your fortune. And in this sport, we know that nothing matters more than how well you play in late April and into May.
Really, the pressure's on kind of against Notre Dame. If they don't win that game, you've really put yourself in a spot where you probably going into the tournament think you have to win it to get in.
As the Big Red arrived in South Bend for a showdown with Notre Dame, the importance of this game on their playoff resume was clear.
Primary focus number one, all right, is our pace. Everything we do, we cannot have an attacking mindset if we're not attacking with pace, okay? So like Coach said on defense, if it's a 1-2 yard closeout, sprint 1-2 yards, okay? Attack that with pace. If you've got a matchup and you've got to approach to direct it, sprint out there, attack that matchup with pace, direct the ball, okay? On offense, running with pace, on, off ball, everywhere. It has to be an attacking mindset. You cannot do it without pace, all right? That's how we translate all of the work we do on our culture throughout the year. That's how you translate tangibly onto the field, right? Little things like that. Can you sprint one step? Can you get over a ball when you're one step behind somebody? Okay? That's the only thing that matters to me right now. It's the only thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is the pace that we attack with from the beginning. That first whistle, it has to start from the entire group that's here, 50 guys, after that first ball.
As the game began, the skies darkened, providing a rainy backdrop for this heavyweight lacrosse battle.
Flipped and scored by Costabile, and the Irish up 1.
In the first, both teams looked to find their footing, each scoring just a single goal.
Inside, and Teat ties it up.
But in the second, Cornell began to assert themselves.
Cornell puts it past Zulo. Doesn't matter as Peterson fires and scores. Big Red back on top, just over 4.5 to go in the second.
But Notre Dame's physical style of play answered each Big Red charge.
Final seconds, Willits up top, past Erlin.
The half ended knotted at 4.
Hey, boys, good job, okay? That's a pretty good first half. That's the kind of game that they're expecting it to be. That's the way they're comfortable playing. So anticipate that's the slugfest that we're going to see the rest of the way, okay? There's no knockout blows in this. Don't look for one. Don't anticipate it. Just keep punching the whole way through. Every little step, every little inch, it all is going to make a difference at the end of the day. Good job on that. Let's find that loose ball. Let's find that loose ball.
Trailing by 1 deep in the third, Cornell began to play as if their season depended on it.
McCulloch puts it past Zulo. Largest lead by either team, and it's just 2. Peterson to his right, and he's in 9th.
5 straight goals, including 2 from senior captain Clark Peterson, gave them a sizable lead.
There he goes, shooting it.
But the Irish would not quit, pulling within 1 with 4 minutes to play.
What a rocket.
Hey, listen to me. Play with pace, right? You come out, you attack whatever you see. Discipline, middle of the field, decisions, everything. Now finish it, okay, boys? Finish sets, finish possessions, finish through the ball. Get it into your stick, don't swat at it, pick it up. You're gonna get pressure, just run away. Take 2, 3 good extra steps, make sure you got an outlet. Trust yourself, trust your teammates, boys, all right? Doesn't get any better than this. Let's finish this, finish on 3. 1, 2, 3, finish!
Yet on this day, Cornell simply would not be denied.
Donville inside and scores! Donville's goal stands his second today.
Jonathan Donville's second goal of the day put the game out of reach.
And the Big Red invades South Bend for the first time since these two teams met in 2010.
It was a satisfying result for the Big Red, offering evidence that the work they've done on their culture is translating to the field.
Found a way to go out and attack a team. It's kind of scary, right? They're big, they're physical, they play hard, they go at you, okay? I think we did play with discipline. I think we did. We made a couple mistakes. We cannot be flawless. We can't expect to be flawless. Just expect to be great when we need to be great. And we finished. That's the best part. Okay, we finished together. We did it the right way. We're controlling ourselves and determining what's happening on either end of the field. That's what we've been working towards all year. Dictate on either end of the field. We dictate the pace with our offense. We dictate the way the other team plays with our defense. We find a way to get that ball off of a big stop to our offense and let them turn it into goals. We've got to get better in the middle of the field on loose balls. And that was probably the best team to show us what we're lacking. We're lacking some strength on those because that is going to keep us from winning bigger games. I'm just proud of the mentality coming in. All right? It's very easy to get down on yourself. It's very easy to get a little pissed off at your teammates or just a little resentful in any situation. So just really, really proud of you guys for the mindset, togetherness, unselfishness, and finishing it the right way. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.